Hello everyone, I'm Zhan Zhang and today I will present on the topic of farm to table and local food system. So to start with the historical perspective, farm to table is the promotion of buying ingredients and food directly from farmers instead of buying food from distributors or large organizations. In 19th centuries, before the creation of cars and other transportations, the only way to get food is to buy it from local farmers. With the rapid growth of economy and urbanization, people started to move off farms and lost the connection with food sources in 1940s. On the other hand, with the innovation with the, inno- with the innovation in food storage and preservation, packaged food products such as canned food emerged in 1950s. Canned food became popular at that time because of its specific properties of easy to carry, long shelf life, and delicious taste. Canned food was produced with an industrial level for the purpose to feed millions of soldiers. U.S. government encouraged the mass production of processed food and collaborated with American food corporations and multiple universities to invent more combined foods. A dehydrated and compressed cheese was invented by government scientists in 1943. A rod-shaped energy bar containing different amounts of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates was named as Space Food Sticks, and then manufactured by Pillsbury Company in late 1960s. Richard Carson highlighted the harmful effects of using pesticides and the outcomes of those accumulated chemicals on your environment in her book called Silent Spring, was published in 1962. The accumulated contamination of using pesticides, especially DDT, could contaminate processed foods and cause cancers. Alice Waters initiated the farm-to-table movement in 1970s and opened one of the first farm-to-fork restaurants, Chet's Panisse. The California certified organic farmers was the first organic certification entity in the United States and formed in 1973. CCOF is a non-profit organization and promotes organic agriculture with the purpose of building a healthy world by offering organic certification, providing specific organic education, and ensuring organic food safety. People were tired of processed food because of their lack of freshness and taste. Food sources were untraceable at that time, further became a giant concern for consumers. More people demanded local, fresh, and organic food from farmers, and the farmers' market continued to grow in 1990s. In the start of 2000s, American schools realized processed food consists of insufficient nutrients, and they decided to use local foods as their supplies to provide enough nutrients for supporting student physical growth. In 2007, Non-GMO Project was formed by two grocery stores, the Nature, the Nature Grocery Company and the Big Carrot Natural Food Market to provide more information on GMO products for customers and create a standard definition for non-GMO products in the North America food industry. Hamilton City Council endorsed the 10-year food strategy in 2016 to support food-friendly neighbors and local food, increase food literacy, help the growth of agriculture food sector, and advocate for a healthy and sustainable food system. Canada's local food movement was popularized in the early 2000s, and farmers markets as the most recognizable movement. Ontario has developed the local food strategy and the Local Food Act to promote farm to table and enhance the economic growth. Technical, economic, political, cultural, and social conditions all impacted adoption of farm-to-table restaurants and promoted the sustainable way of consuming food. With the advancement of agriculture technology, farms are more profitable, efficient, and more environmentally friendly. Promoting promoting the consumption of local food increases the growth of local economy. Governments support farm-to-table movements because it is becoming a trend around the world and it can create many benefits to the system. Europeans tend to enjoy the high quality of food instead of quantity, and more people would like to amuse the taste and freshness of food. People have concerns regarding the environmental impact of processed food and operations of food factories. They want a more sustainable and environmentally friendly to consume foods. Supporting local Supporting local food generates more local economic growth and produces less pollution. But there are insufficient amounts of food resources to feed all population around the world. Many farm-to-table restaurants open because people have access to the food resources at those standards and demand healthy and tasteful food products. To continue with the current perspective, farm-to-table establishes a food system that ensures food processing, production, distribution, and consumption are integrated to improve the environmental, social, economic, and nutritional health of the local area. People started to eat unhealthy and convenience food in 1950s as the fast food chain grew and the emerging of McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, etc. Fast food is not welcomed by some people and was accused of selling unhealthy food and undermining local values and culture. One of the reasons people will go to the fast food restaurant is due to the convenience at workplace or at school. The fast food is usually stored in freezers and is cooked by frying mostly, which causes the taste and freshness worse than from two-table restaurants. Most fast food contain unhealthy fat, carbohydrates, sugar, sodium, and tiny amount of fiber, and this results in low nutrients and less water retention in the body. Eating fast food may cause headache, depression, heart disease, high, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and skin issues. People realize the unhealthy facts about fast food and they decide to consume less fast food and go to farm-to-table restaurants more frequently because local served food is more healthy and fresh. Culture definitely play an important role in supporting farm-to-table restaurants. For example, European lifestyle is slow-paced compared to America and Asia. People have enough spare time during work or school to go to the farm-to-table restaurants and enjoy the healthy and delicious taste of local food. In Asia countries like China or North Korea, some people have their opinion against the foreign fast chain brands and would consume local farmers' food instead to support their local economy. Parents in China are very serious and strict about their children's physical growth. They recognize the unhealthy of fast food and restrict their children to avoid eating frozen and prepackaged food. Global warming is a huge concern for people all around the world, and the emission of greenhouse gases trap heat and make the planet warmer. Transportation burns fossil fuel for cars, ships, trucks, trains, and airplanes to emit carbon dioxide as one of the major greenhouse gases. Transportation sector is responsible for 29% of the U.S. total greenhouse emission in 2019, As cars, trains, and airplanes came out, they facilitated the logistics of importing or exporting food. Since transportation is the most necessary process during importing and exporting, it emits tremendous amount of greenhouse gases that pollute the environment. Importing food from other countries could take at least 1 or 2 days, and the freshness of the food reduces. It might be necessary for companies to use preservations for food to last longer, but it will cause the loss of nutrients and taste. Loss of food loss of food made by industrial organizations are added with preservations, artificial colors, and artificial flavors to boost the appearance and taste for foods, while having them last longer. Studies show artificial diets could potentially cause hyperactivity, irritability, depression, hypothermia, and one of the known cancer-causing agents, benzene. Most of food additives are chemically synthesized and they are unhealthy for humans to consume. The food system of pharmaceutical does not use food additives, where it reduces the transportation of delivering food, since it mostly serves local areas and restaurants. The food supplied from local farmers reduced the time spent on transportation to sustain the freshness of food ingredients, and food will not be damaged during trafficking. Some organization farms are not well regulated, and they might well spray pesticides to kill insects and plants. DDTs are one of the most common use of pesticides in industrialized farms, could cause damage on humans and environment. People exposed to can be exposed to DDT from foods and breathing or touching products containing DDT. People exposed to high dose of DDT could cause symptoms of vomiting, tremors, and seizures. The use of pesticides in industrialized farmers could cause many toxic effects to the biological environment, toxic to different marine life and other organisms, could lead to potential toxic to the top of food chain, which is humans. The insolubility of pesticides can accumulate in water for long term and could contaminate soil and turf. Excuse me. Local food system can create social benefits by gaining trust and connection between and within consumers and producers. Farmers markets create many opportunities and spaces for communities, and people have 10 times more competition at a farmers market than supermarket. The relationship between producer and consumer is established and enhanced because consumers appreciate the natural food produced by farmers, and farmers put lots of effort to provide their food to customers. Local food systems create huge economic benefits to every employee and employer in the system as well as the government. Farm to table creates many job opportunities for local citizens. For example, jobs of retailers, distributors, food preparers, and farmers. Urban agriculture and rural development estimated the total net worth of the province alternative agriculture markets, including farmers markets, farm retail, and farm activities, to be 623 million in 2008. In Ontario, 130 farmers markets generated an estimated 645 million in total farmers market sales across Ontario in 2006. Over the past 10 years, farmers market sales in Ontario are estimated to have increased 10 to 12% annually to about 800 million with an economic impact of over $2.5 billion dollars. The farm to table and local food system has survived because of the great benefits it brought to social, cultural, economic, and environment. The change of farm to table and local food system gradually will increase gradually because the system is well established and the technology involved is already advanced. The potential positive consequences might be increase in demand of local food and more development of farmers market because people want to eat healthy while improving the environmental conditions around them. The potential negative consequences might be decrease in demand and sales because the food cost is expensive and yield is not as high as industrialized farms. From the from the historical perspective of view of former pharmaceutical movements, it, it is it is obvious that the demand of local fresh nature and organic food has been increasing because it contains more nutrients and less food additives. At the meantime, supporting local food can bring many benefits to the environment, social and economic. The former rapid growth of pharmaceutical was due to four major reasons: food security, proximity, self-reliance, and sustainability. It is challenging to feed 7 billion people with limited food resources on the planet. 1 in 9 people are malnourished, and approximately 9 million people die every year because of hunger. Farm-to-table movements aim to satisfy the needs of low-income households by developing local food systems. The farm-to-table movements focus on the proximity between farmers, retailers, restaurants, and consumers to reduce the environmental impact of transporting food across long distances or countries. One of the goals of developing local food system is to be self-reliant by creating a community to meet their own food needs and avoid buying from other countries' food to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases. Chemical fertilizer and pesticides used during the production of food ingredients can potentially harm the soil and environment. Sometimes the accumulated damage requires long-term retreat. The goal of creating a local food system is to sustain the ability of future generations to satisfy our own food needs. I would like to see farm to table against promotion group programs and campaigns because it helps educate all the local people about the differences between local food and industrial food. And the promotion can help expand and grow the farmers market. I would like to see more institution purchasing programs that schools or organizations can build contracts with the local farmers to buy food from them periodically because it will provide dependable and sustainable consumer base. I would like to see direct farm marketing that farmers have the opportunity to contact with potential customers because the farmers will have their own ways of retailing to gain more consumer bases and increase profits. I would also like to see the government issues more financial support to local farmers because this will provide farmers more equipment to start up and increase the efficiency of food production. I would like to see farmers market provide cheaper rent to farmers because the cost of retailing will be reduced and profit will increase. Challenges and boundaries exist and they need to be overcome in order to make successful changes. It is moderately difficult to educate people the benefits of consuming local food such as fresh flavor, delicious taste, high nutrition level, support local economy, etc. Giving people the information on effects of industrialized food pollutes, pollutes the environment, low nutrients and toxic additives cannot directly persuade people to consume local food. Especially in developing countries, low-income households do not have enough budget to consume organic or local food because the cost is too expensive. Low-income households only have the choice to consume fast food or processed food to stay out of hunger. Also, it is hard to suddenly create an institutional purchasing program because schools or organizations may not volunteer to build a relationship with farmers. Large food distributors and retailers often renew the purchasing contract annually. The suppliers are not able to meet retailers' demand in limited growing seasons. Economic boundaries such as price wars can prevent the future growth of a local food system. Local farms have to go through conventional marketing channels such as supermarkets to survive, but the contract is provided by supermarket requires minimum quantity and the quality of food, which are challenging for small startup farms to meet. Retailers take the heavy portion of profits because farmers need to pay the environmental and the social costs of their business practices. It is difficult to give farmers the contact information of potential customers since it is completely private information. Political boundaries exist. For example, governments cannot issue financial support to farmers because it would be unfair to other fields and organizations. Technical boundaries exist among farmers because the knowledge of handling advanced equipment and the method to culture crops are essential to produce the highest yield. In the United States, the number of farms decreased 63%, while the average size of farms has risen 67% from 1940 to 2013. Local farms have the responsibility to feed more people and require advanced and automated techniques to increase crop productivity. Local farms routinely use robots, temperature and moisture sensors, and GPS technology to decrease the use of water and fertilizer to reduce the production costs. Local farms equipped with those technologies to ensure work safety, increase efficiency, and reduces the food price while improving the flavor and safety of food. My program is biotechnology, and I have the knowledge of controlling the crops at optimal growth conditions and understanding of those advanced techniques to increase the yield and efficiency of local food production. My future career interest is designing specific sensors they could apply to the local food system to monitor the moisture and temperature of crops. Thank you guys. This is the end of my presentation.